Today, we're going to talk about unlocking the potential of your roofing or contracting business's website, really speaking to conversion rate optimization. So one of the most important things that you can do, right? And so today we're going to talk about the 5 elements that enhance conversions on your website. We're going to talk about where to place your phone number, social proof, the different channels that you want to allow people to communicate with you, and a simple trick to convert your visitors that don't call on the first visit. So for those of you that don't know me, who am I? I'm Jim Aline. I'm the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, co-author of 2 books, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors and The Best Known Roofer, and host of the Roofing Success Podcast. Drop a 1 in the chat if you listen to the Roofing Success Podcast. Today we'll allow for a lot of participation. So the more participation we have, the better. In chat, there'll be points where we can unmute, have conversations. We could take time to look at your websites and see what we might be able to help you with in terms of what you could the tweaks you could make. And really, this is what we do on a day-to-day basis at Roofer Marketers. We work with roofing contractors on their digital marketing. And in that, we have 3 core principles to what we call our omnipresent marketing system, which is outlined in the book, The Best Known Roofer. If you haven't received a copy of that, go to Roofer Marketers and you can order a free copy. If you are a contractor, we'll send it to you for free. If you're another marketing agency, you can go to Amazon and buy it. So, but in this book, we outline 3 core principles, and that is, the first is to maximize the opportunity to generate a lead for your roofing business. The second is to maximize the brand impressions to your company. And then the third is to maximize the conversion rates around everything that you're doing. And that's what this specific webinar is about, is maximizing those conversion rates. So really we start off, there's really always a problem, right, in your marketing. What are your guys' biggest problems with your website or with marketing? Drop that in the chat, or feel free to unmute and have a conversation. What are some of the challenges you guys face?
I mean, I'll speak to
Sure.
it a little bit. I know I've worked with in the past other contractors too, and I think the problem for some, if you aren't, how can I put it? If you don't have a trusted person, or you don't know yourself, you don't know if it's working or not. Like what you're doing, is it working? I think that's a big question that owners have, and that I had when I first started with them, is really digging in. And a lot of times I think people in this industry, your specialty is construction and remodeling. It's not website, right?
That's
And
right.
SEO and SEM.
Right.
So that's not your forte, your strong point. And I know that a lot of contractors, what they don't understand, they don't want to look into, or they just trust somebody and they're not sure if they're getting the ROI that they should. So I think that's the hardest part with the construction industry. I don't know if other people are feeling that.
I mean, I think that's in every business, right? Is your marketing working? Are you effectively spending your marketing dollars? And that really is, it comes down to, marketing is a big investment, right? A lot of times, we see the contractors that we work with investing, usually between 3 and 8% of their gross revenue goal into their marketing efforts. Some, as high as, 10, 12%. Depending on the kind of where you're at in your business, depending on, how much you're trying to grow or maintain. And so that big investment is challenging. Tanner dropped in the chat, making sure we're a real company and not a scam, or someone that cannot handle the job. Man, that's a problem, right? Making sure that your brand, the trustworthiness of your brand is reflected in your marketing, and especially on your website. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today, for sure. And so Another thing that I see that a big challenge that contractors face is that, they get traffic to their website maybe, but they don't get enough leads from that. They're like, man, I'm seeing all this traffic. An example of this, we work with a contractor out in the DC area. And when they came on board with us, I did an analysis of his website, and man, he's ranking for all kinds of stuff and he's getting all kinds of traffic to the website, but the phone wasn't ringing. I was like, what the heck's going on here? So I did a deep dive on all the stuff that he was ranking for. And it wasn't stuff that people search when they're looking to make a phone call, right? So when, people are looking to make a phone call, they're typing in, best roofing company near me, the best roofer city, state, things like that. All the stuff he ranked for was just informational content, right? What is the difference between, asphalt, shingle, and metal, and, all these things. And it's great information for people. And it built the authority of his website in Google's eyes, but it wasn't leading to business, right? So making sure that the way that your website is structured and the content that's on it drives and lead to conversions. And then I know what a lot of contractors face, a low return on investment in their marketing, right? And so having that low return on investment makes you reconsider marketing at all a lot of times, right? Is this even worth it? I could go knock doors and just, and do a lot better than what I'm putting into these marketing efforts. And so failing in this is not generating enough leads for the investment that you need to grow your roofing business, right? And so the opportunity, though, in that is to build a great website that's built to convert website visitors into phone calls, that has content written for those people that are searching now for your services, not just doing research on things, right?
How come you haven't?
And in that,
again,
consistently converting those visitors into leads through speaking to them that the way that they want to, the way that they're going to hear it, right? To hear that you are a trustworthy company, that to understand that you are the right company to call, that you're not a scam artist. And then that leads to momentum, right? And that momentum leads to consistent growth over time. I like to say that this is marketing, not magic, right? Marketing is not magic. It's not something that, and you probably got 5 emails today and 3 Facebook messages of someone promising magic. Hey, hire us and we'll get you 10 new roofs this week or whatever, right? Like, it's not magic, but it's building up consistent momentum, and that really leads to growth, and that leads to success, right? And success is the phones ringing, salespeople closing, crews busy, business booming. And that's what we're all looking for, right? So drop a 1 in the chat if that's a priority of yours, right? To get the phones ringing, salespeople closing, crews busy, business booming. Tanner dropped a lot of 1s in the chat. Mike, thank you. Micah, it really is why we're in business, right? And it leads to really being a successful roofing company. And the hub of all of this, where this all starts, is your website. I know I'm a big researcher, right? If you've ever read the book, The Platinum Rule, I'm the thinker. The thinker is the person who needs all of the information. When you're at the kitchen table with the thinker, they're really going to have to take some time to review this and think about this and research every detail. My wife makes fun of me a lot in regards to this, because she's like, it takes you 6 months to buy a pair of pants. Like, what is it? Just go to the store and buy some pants. If they fit, bring them home. I am I research things so in depth. And for people like me, I'm going to go to your website. right? I'm going to go to your website. I'm going to go to your Google business profile. I'm going to read your reviews. And that's what a lot of your customers are doing. They're going to your website, and that's the hub of all of your marketing efforts, whether you're doing Facebook ads or organic social media, whether you're doing YouTube videos or buying leads from lead aggregators like HomeAdvisor, Angie, Thumbtack, all those, like whatever you're doing, if you're buying telemarketing leads, people are going to look you up and they're going to go to your website and they're going to want to spend some time looking to see if you're the right choice to make when they're spending tens of thousands of dollars sometimes, right? So let's look at this, as to why conversion optimization is so important. Scenario one, you get 500 people to come to your website with a 5% conversion rate to phone calls. That leads to 25 calls. A 30% conversion, that's 77 jobs, that's 17,500 in profit, right? Just to make the math easy. Increasing the conversion rate on your website to 15% leads to, right, 3 times the business. And so these little tweaks that you can make along the way, a lot of roofing contractor business owners are really used to doing this more in the sales process, right? Like, let's see how dialed in we could get our sales process. Let's see how good we could get at that kitchen table. Let's try to get our conversion rate from 28 to 32%, then to 36%, then to 40%, right? And to keep increasing that conversion rate at the kitchen table. But you can start that process a lot earlier in the customer journey, right? And starting it on your website is a great place to do it. So it really has an impact on your business. This is a company that we work with in the Twin Cities area. Angela, you may have seen them around, Prominent Construction. We've worked with them since 2015.
Yep.
And,
I used to call on them when I was with the marketing company.
Did you? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And they never went with you, I guess.
Yes, it was a different kind of marketing.
Oh, different kind of marketing.
It was
Nice.
advertising in a construction magazine. So yeah,
Oh,
it was different.
Nice. They like to do a lot of marketing. They really focus on that omnipresent approach. So, you'll see them in a lot of stuff around the Twin Cities area. But back when we started working with them, they'd only been in business for about 3 years, and they did their best to just get a website up because, even in 2012 when they started, you had to have a website, right? Like, people, if you don't have a website, people don't even think you're a real business these days, right? And so they had a website, and then we rebuilt that website and put in all of the conversion rate optimization factors that we focus on. And that leads to, hundreds of calls per year through Google organic search in their roofing business. All right. And so why is it getting your, we want to talk about why it's important to get your website built to convert, right? It's pretty simple. We want to get all of our websites to convert like that, right? And so let's go into how to optimize a website. There are 10 critical elements to enhance conversion rates on your websites. So let's jump into it. The first thing we want to do is get the basics in order. Phone number in the upper right-hand corner of the website. We all read in what is referred to as a Z pattern on a website. So our eyes start in the upper left-hand corner where it says 10 critical elements, right, on the slide in front of you. Your eyes went there, and then it read across, and then it moved down to number 1 and read across and down and across and down and across in a Z pattern all the way down the page, what you're looking at. So that's what happens on your website. So in the upper right-hand corner is where we like to place the phone number and a schedule free estimate button. And in that's because people look, they see your logo, move across the screen and see your phone number. There are a couple of reasons that people are visiting your website, right? One is to research you. Another one is they want to give you a call. So make it easy for them to give you a call. Have that phone number really well displayed in the upper right-hand corner of your website. It is amazing to me the times that I see companies play hide and seek with their website or with their phone number. I have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and somewhere in the footer of the website, there's a little in tiny text, there's a phone number. And so that is, it's really important in that way to make sure that it's easy for them, right? Then we want to ensure that you have clear calls to actions, right? On every page. We want to use special offers that match the services that they are in need of. We'll talk about that in more detail. Make sure your website is mobile optimized. Everybody's on these phones, right? All day, every day. Having multi-step contact forms encourages customers to complete the submission of the form is another great way to do that, to have as an element for conversion on your website. Give clients the option to book online or have a phone set up to automatically contact them.
Can I just interject something really quick?
Sure.
Because with the mobile element, I worked with a company a few years ago that they thought their website was mobile friendly because with the very first page was mobile friendly, but then check your links and click things, because I met with them and I was like, guys, your website isn't mobile friendly. And they're like, what? We've talked to our people. It should be. And the owner was so upset. And I just am like, make sure you double check all the time.
Click through your website, right? Click through all of the pages on your website. Make sure that they look good on mobile. Make sure that it displays well. You're probably not going to have someone reading like all of your entire website on their phone. But my sister doesn't own a laptop. She has an iPad and she has her phone, and those are the only ways that she interacts with anything online. And it's crazy to me because I have my computer open all the time, but it's just amazing to me that but a lot of people are like that, right? So making sure that it's mobile optimized. You want to speak to your target avatar, your perfect customer. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. What are their fears and frustrations? Why should they choose you? Make sure that you are being real and authentic. People buy, Tanner, what you're talking about, man, people buy from who they know, like, and trust, right? So make sure that there are real, authentic pictures of you, your team, your projects, not the guy in the shiny yellow hard hat with the button-up shirt nailing a picture on a roof, right? Hanging a picture on a roof. That does not invoke trust. Use video and multimedia, leverage social proof. So those are some of the most important things that you can do, right? To optimize the conversion rate of your website. Thinking of it yourselves, drop in the chat what stood out to you in that list. Things that you think about with your website, like, man, we don't have this. We don't have our phone number in the upper right-hand corner. Oh, we don't have website chat. We don't have Tanner, videos of the crew, for sure. For sure. Everyone, man, all of the About Us page is the second most visited page on your website. The home page is the most visited page on your website. The About Us page is the second most. So if you have those, the pictures or videos of your team right there on the website, people can get to know them and trust them. Micah said reviews, getting reviews onto your website. That's another amazing thing, right? Drawing in that social proof is extremely important. So now let's talk about how we set up optimization. So let's talk about how, if you could go to Prominent Construction, you can see how we've done this. But what I want to start with is speaking to your customer. So Angela said customer testimonials and video testimonials are great too. My goodness, right? Like video testimonials of your services. Like people trust online reviews as much as a recommendation from a friend or family member. And that's the Google review. That's just the Google review. Brittany, are you drawing on my screen? I see someone drawing on my screen. That's funny. So there's like, people trust that. You're fine. That's what happens when you open up these meetings and want to have participation, right? You actually allow participation. So there's so one of the things that we want to look at first is summarized in this kind of phrase here. If you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. And really what we're talking about there is if you can see the way that your customer looks at your company through their eyes, right? If you can really truly understand that customer, and we're talking about your perfect customer, right? Not any customer, because we know that all people are not your perfect customer, but your perfect customers, the ones that you work with the best, the ones that you serve the best. If you can develop your website and your marketing and your messaging around the way that the way that they're looking to buy and the way that they're looking to search, it's going to be extremely effective. We refer to that in marketing as a customer avatar. And in a customer avatar, we essentially create a person, right? An imaginary person. And we look at their pains and frustrations. We look at their goals and desires. We look at their fears and implications. We look at their dreams and aspirations in relation to your business. So when we do that, this is an example of like a retail residential roof avatar, roofing customer avatar, right? So the demographics of this person, of course, they're a homeowner, right? They're not a renter. That is a demographic that we're looking for. Let's say they're 35 years of age or older. They're typically female, occasionally male. They're married with 2-3 kids. They're the head of the household. They have a certain annual income range that fits your target audience. They're family oriented. They're easily frustrated. They take an interest in their community. Those are some demographics that when you know this about your customer, you can connect dots that are much different than the next company. Then we have to understand their pains and frustrations. One of their pains and frustration is that their roof is damaged, right? Or aged or needs replacing. They need to get someone out immediately to inspect or get a quick estimate. Man, Amazon ruined us with the 1-2 day delivery of anything on this planet, right? So everyone they want now. They want things now. So their pain is trying to get someone out, getting their roof issue resolved. They're too busy to deal with all this stuff. They're working, they're bringing the kids to sports. They're running around. There's all this stuff that's happening in their lives. They're too busy. And they're worried that the situation could be too costly or cause permanent damage to their home. And so now we look at their fears, right? The fears that they're having during this process. They have a fear of being ripped off or overcharged, is what kind of Tanner mentioned right early on, right? They have I talk about this a lot. I lived in Denver for a lot of years, and on the television was Tom Martino, the troubleshooter, right? On the evening news. And Tom Martino's whole job was to find those people that were ripping off grandma. And a lot of times they were contractors, right? Or contractors. Well, and so people really, they get this put in their face all the time. If you're in a storm restoration market, man, if you're anywhere in Florida right now where Ian came through and you're watching the news, there is story after story of scammers and ripoff artists and all this stuff, right? So we want to make sure that we can speak to that. They want their fear is also paying too much for something they could have gotten elsewhere, right? For cheaper. Having their home damaged by faulty workmanship, having to wait around for the estimator to arrive, to get their roof inspection, being inconvenienced, trying to coordinate with your company, and having a bill that is more than they can afford, right? That is especially in retail markets, let's be honest, no one wants to buy a roof. It's not like that's not what they're saving up for. It's not that dream kitchen or that, that bathroom renovation. It's not that new deck and landscaping with the grill and built-in grills and cool stuff. It is an essential part of keeping your home safe, but it's not something that people get excited about. So their goals and desires are to get the roof fixed, have the issue behind them, have a well-kept home, take care of their family, keeping their kids healthy, happy, spending time with their family, having peace of mind. So some messaging that we could speak to them around in terms of those fears, right? In relation to those fears are, having an estimate in 24 hours, having affordable finance options, having explaining how you have a trustworthy and experienced team, offering different types of warranty options, right? So lifetime workmanship warranties, 50-year manufacturer warranties, like all of these things, expressing the quality of your work. And now when you're speaking to that person in that expression of quality, a lot of times that's your perfect customer, right? Your perfect customer is the one that wants it done right, not just cheap. They want to make sure that their home is protected. So expressing that in your messaging, expressing that you're local to the area, really in every market, but a lot of times, especially in storm restoration markets, man, when the hail falls or the hurricane comes through, the salespeople descend on that area and they're all from out of town. They don't have the accent of the local community, and it changes the perception. So they're not. You want to make sure that you're not fly by. Expressing that you're not fly by night. So some examples of this, or speaking to your ideal company, is like that we have on Prominence website is, that they're an elite local roofing company serving the Minneapolis area. They're experienced, licensed, insured. They have the best industry warranties. They have affordable financing options, right? So having that verbiage on your website, you understand, you're seeing through Joe Jones' eyes, right? When they're visiting your website, the fears that they're having, the things that they're thinking about, and you're answering that in the verbiage on your website. Being real and authentic, right? Having pictures of yourself, of the team, really focusing in on that is an important part of what you're doing. Leveraging multimedia, leveraging video, showing the quality of your work through that, expressing your personality, right? Expressing your personality through that also. Leveraging social proof. Like I said, people trust online reviews as much as a recommendation from a friend or family member. It is crazy, but that's what we do, right? I've done this many times. Amazon's a good example, an easy example where I'll go on Amazon and I'm looking for a certain product, and I'll find like 2 or 3 of the same items, and I'll pull them up next to each other, and okay, which one has the best reviews, the best and most reviews, right? It could have 5-star reviews, but only 5 people have reviewed it. That doesn't hold as much weight as the product that has 1,000 reviews and a 4.9 star rating, right? So lots of great reviews, and then leveraging that social proof on your website. And what Angela pointed out too is, if you could take that and bring that into video form and put that on your website, my goodness, that just amplifies it, right? That's throwing gas on the fire. So also using special offers, right, that are matched to what they're interested in, using specific offers to specific pages on the website. This is also extremely important in terms of in your paid advertising also. Limited time discounts, free add-ons, anything to convert a visitor to get their contact info is really important. So Tanner says, how many reviews do you think is good for commercial? I remember you, Tanner. Tanner does commercial roofing. So the first thing that I look at of how many reviews is I would search your local area for commercial roofing companies, because you're a commercial roofing contractor. If you do residential, just type in best roofing companies near me or whatever, and just look through the map section and look at the number of reviews that your competition has. If you notice that that your competition, say 50, 60 review range, then that's your first goal, 50, 60 reviews. Your next goal is to double that, so that you create such a gap in perception between your company and the next. That's the goal, right? So the next thing is if you're, if you're a residential company, there may be hundreds of reviews on some of the, and so the first goal in building reviews for your company is getting to the average of what your competitors have. So there's not a specific number. It's specific to your market and who your competition is. Again, like we said, making sure that it's mobile friendly, right? This number is probably more now, but at the time of these slides being written last year, the year before, it was 4.8 billion people are on mobile, right? 3 out of 5 consumers search for local businesses on that smartphone. That has probably gone up. And Google reports that 46% of mobile customers turn to a competitor's website after a bad mobile website experience, right? So almost half of people, if they hit your website, it's not mobile friendly, they're gone. They're just gone. So one thing to look for on your mobile version is making sure that you have a click to call functionality. So you can have your phone number on there, but making sure that it's clickable, that someone can initiate a phone call from that. The other thing that you can do is have sometimes we'll put click to call now, and there'll be a button that is sticky on the scroll, or having that call button that's sticky, that goes with it on the scroll, so that at any point in time they just hit the button and they're making the phone call. So on mobile, that's really, really important. The next thing that we focus on is multi-step contact forms. Zillow really popularized this, they call them long forms. And so asking people questions one step at a time qualifies out the person, but it doesn't make it a daunting process. If you go to a website and it has a form, I saw this form on a roofing website one time, and it was like they were asking for what type of roof they had. Is it a hip roof, a gable roof? Like, they're asking all of these questions to the homeowner before they could hit submit. There was like this huge page of things and check boxes and radio buttons and all this different stuff that they had to do. And I was like, no one's filling that out. So you want to make it easy, right? Hey, enter your zip code. Enter your name, enter your zip code. They hit next steps. You might be able to collect 5, 7 pieces of information from them through this process without them feeling overwhelmed and daunted by looking at the form. And by continuing through the questions, it gives them some skin in the game. It's a stickier rate in that. So when you do the multi-step forms, there's a much higher conversion rate on that, and it reduces spam, because a lot of the bots that are out there on the internet can't fill these forms out. So it helps to reduce spam also. So again, key ideas: add real authentic images of your team to the homepage and throughout the website. Add video elements to your website. Showcase your online reviews, get the basics in order, having your phone number in the upper right-hand corner, all of that, having different calls to action, leveraging offers, adding live chat to your website. And now there's some other cool features that you can do in adding online roof quotes with Roofle or Roofr and things like that. and offer clients the option to book online using easy to use forms. So put a 1 in the chat if you feel like your website is optimized for conversion. Put a 2 in the chat if you think you need some work. Need some work. Let's take a look at this in kind of live here. Let me just go to Prominent's website. I'll pull that over onto the screen here. It's kind of what I'm talking about in real time, right? Like our eyes move in that Z pattern. So you could see how we built out that Z pattern here. So we have their logo, their header area with links, schedule free estimate, and call us now, right? Again, also along the top here is our reviews. Hey, you want to know what our company, what people are thinking of for our company? Right there. Proud to offer a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. So speaking to the fears of that customer, right? Convenient financing will help with your insurance claim. We're BBB accredited. We're Google review 5-star reviewed. We're OC Platinum contractor, right? Here's a picture of our team. If we go to their about page, there's our team, right? And about us and our team and what we do and who everyone is, and just a headshot of people in the, in their shirts and, in their logoed shirts and everything. It makes a big difference. Hey, Mike, how are you, man? Mike from Roofle is actually on here. Let's look at someone. Let's look at a site like that. So again, here's another example, right? Rojas Roofing out in Indianapolis. Free estimate, phone number in the upper right-hand corner, A+ Better Business Bureau, Duralast certified Insta, fully licensed and insured. Here are the Rojas brothers, right? Right there on the website, authentic, right in front of their truck, logos, everything right there. We have chat right down in the option for people to chat. We have the option for people to do an online quote, right? Like, giving people, if you want to increase the conversion rates on your website, making sure that you're giving people the opportunity to communicate with you the way that they want to be communicated with, right? So it's extremely important. And there's so many ways that people can communicate with you, right? So, let's see what they have about us, our team, real nice looking pictures, nice bios of everyone. This invokes trust. Tanner, when you were talking about, is Tanner still on here? I don't see you. Yeah, there you are. Like, when you look at a website like this is trustworthy, right? That's what you were talking about. Like, how do we make this trustworthy? How do we make sure that people understand the trustworthiness of our companies and the quality of service that we provide? It's extremely important to do all of these things. Let me get back to my slides here. So let's talk about, in chat here with these ideas, what we like to take action, right? We really want to make sure that we take action with everything that we're doing. I love for you guys to spend this, maybe an hour with me today, but money loves speed. And the quicker you can implement and get to action, the more effective your business is going to be. So pick 3 of the things that we talked about to implement over the next 3 days. I'd love to have you drop those 3 in the chat and have a conversation about it. And, and if anyone wants me to take a peek at their websites, be happy to pull up their website, your website, drop your URL in the chat button. And we can look through it.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
So going through you guys to do the website, you do show, like, you do track everything as far as converted,
yeah,
where all the calls coming from, where everything's coming from. And it's funny because my boss has a coach and he just assigned me to do all that stuff through where we get our leads from. And I'm like, we could go through you guys and it's done.
It's yeah, and really online, you're using a couple of things in terms of tracking. The main thing for all of your digital marketing is call tracking, right? So making sure that there are call tracking phone numbers on your website, on all of your landing pages, through your Facebook ads, whatever campaigns you're running. I mean,
Right.
I know companies that have call tracking numbers on their yard signs, to know that it was a yard sign call. They'll, you can get as deep in the weeds as you want to in terms of that. We're also tracking any form submissions, all the website chats, all that all comes through our lead management system, Contractor Boost. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it might be a year in process making, but I think
that's all right.
move towards you guys.
Yeah, it's one step at a time, right?
You
It's
signed
do
a
something, then do something a little better than that, then do something a little bit better than that.
We're getting our website redone right now, so we signed at least a 1-year contract with them, but
Okay, cool.
we'll definitely, I'm gonna keep these videos that I get emailed and start sending them to my boss and letting him get a
Well,
taste. And
we will be here. Roofer Girl is on the podcast. Micah, how are you?
Hi there, Micah here.
Awesome. So the first thing I see here on your website, really is you have the contact button. I'd like to see the website there. And then the other thing is, I would say, instead of contact, have the phone number, because that's what people know, contact, right? They don't even have to click there. They can just click the number or dial the number. And then I would also have a schedule-free estimate or schedule-free inspection there also, in that upper right-hand corner. And then as we're going through, I like the branding. You guys have the bright colors. You have Rue, you have your some videos. That's awesome. Video also helps with time on page. So it's an indicator to Google that your website is kind of the website to show, because the more time someone spends on your website, Google goes, oh, they typed in best roofing company, and then they went to this website, and then they spent a lot of time on it. That must be the right website to show. It's one of thousands of ranking factors, but it is important. One thing I think you're missing here, I don't think you need residential and commercial here. You have it up here. You could put that down a little bit. I like the trust factors that you have. You might want to move this Rue up a little bit into this area, and then have like a schedule-free estimate button, something like that right there. I like that you brought in the social proof. That's good. You guys are down to Brian. All right. And then let's look at your about page. There you go. So nice pictures, bios. Continuing, if you have any other team members, go ahead and add them in there too.
Okay.
And having those conversations, that's great. Angie Land Roofing. Right. Is that helpful?
Yep. Thank you so much. So I might need to add more about the fast-worthy thing, like adding some more pictures.
Yeah, add more pictures, and let's look at, like, if I go through some of the pages, like you have, well, now it's all Malarkey and Certainteed here on this shingle page. But if we go to the home page, I don't see the Malarkey and all of that here, right? Like so I guess residential composition roofing. Yeah, better pictures, right? Pictures, it looks like you took a lot of the Malarkey standard pictures, where let's get some job sites that have had Malarkey installed on it, right? Like that would be more. And then make sure that the picture has like the truck parked in front of the house, or the yard sign parked in front of the house, right? So it's a
real actual job.
That's
On the
right.
job side. Okay.
Real
Got it.
actual jobs, things like that. Like same thing, like tile slate roofs, real actual jobs would be the best to put there. So
More of these.
a lot, and if you're in the market for roofing, this is a long sentence for people to read as a headline. So maybe kind of short, punchy sentences. And then again, like contact us is great, but it's not as good as like a schedule free estimate. Let's see what this looks like on mobile. So now we go to mobile. We have this, you have your chat kind of feature here, but there's no phone number, right? So
Okay.
watch how I do Rojas here. You have your text, that phone number is clickable, and see how that phone number sticks on mobile, right? Same thing on prominent. If we go to prominent, there's a call button here, and this is clickable. So if they scroll, they can text, they can call. It adds to that, the conversion rates of that.
Okay, got it.
All
So that's
right.
another thing. We need to optimize this for website, tablet, and other device users, other than website. Other than PC, right?
Say that again.
I mean, we need to optimize this for other devices such as mobile,
Yes,
tablet,
that's right.
iPad. Okay.
Yep. I use this window resizer Chrome extension that you could say, oh, this is what it looks like on an iPad, right? This is what this site looks like on an iPad. That's what this site looks like on an iPad. It's just the way that it's just a little Chrome extension that changes the
Resolution. Yeah.
resolution. Yeah. All right, someone else had regionalroofing.info. Mike Brown, need to work on building out our About Us page, waiting to get some professional photos done. Man, professional photos are extremely important. Video also. You got your phone number in the upper right-hand corner. Got your list there. Contact us. Schedule an appointment now. Let's see where that goes to. It's kind of a funky site here. Oh, this is like a self-scheduling thing, right, Mike? I like self-scheduling. I honestly, I like self-scheduling kind of in the follow-up. I like to make this a little bit easier from a point of contact, like just them filling out a form. But then after that, like, hey, if you'd like to schedule your time now, like the thank you page for the schedule free estimate, they fill out their name, email, phone number, all of that. And then the thank you page says, hey, if you want to schedule right now, boom, click here and get scheduled on our calendar.
Okay. Yeah, we have a couple different options where they can fill out a form where they can self-schedule. So
Yep. Let's see. So you'd said that,
And just to interject about the self-scheduling, if anybody doesn't have that or doesn't have it linked to a calendar, you can use Calendly, or there's other plugins where it'll populate right into your
that's
team's
right.
calendar.
Yeah, Calendly and Schedule Once are two of the big kind of things for that. Our Contractor Boost AI that we provide our clients also has a scheduling component to it also. So, but getting that in there, it's really nice, and letting them communicate with you kind of the way that they want. Let's see what you're looking like on an iPhone. So phone number, it kind of gets a little bunchy, right? So your phone, your website is not mobile optimized. See how I have to scroll? And maybe it could be just on this. I'd have to look at it on my actual phone, because sometimes it doesn't trick the website enough when I change the resolution like that. But check that out on your phone and make sure that it's mobile optimized. But you got the click to call. That click to call sits there, so not too bad. So making sure that this adjusts to mobile is going to be very important for you.
yeah, I just checked. We're good on
Okay,
mobile, and
cool.
so we should be good on tablet too. So
Yep, for sure. Awesome. Let me see if I can find his. Give me a second. We have a great videographer that we've been working with. That will come out to your company. he'll come out to your company, do a full day video shoot, take pictures of everyone, do the whole shot all at once. And that's Paul West with Sky High Cinema. He is, if anyone knows who John Senick, John the Roof Pro is, he's John the Roof Pro's video guy. But he's full scale production, short form content, everything. Reach out to Paul if you need someone to come out and do that on site. Like he'll go out and do a film a job that you're working on. He'll do all of that to try to boost up that professional authenticity, for your website.
Sweet. Can you drop his link in the comments?
Yeah. Let me make sure. And just tell him that Jim told you to call. All right, let me see in the comments. There you go. skycinema.me. Great resource. And he's worked with a lot, not just with John Senick, but the company that John Senick is a salesperson for. And so he did all of their video content for years. So he is very familiar with the roofing space. All right. All right. So I'm glad that you guys have action items, right? Because that's what makes a difference is doing that. So making sure that you're speaking to your customer avatar, making sure you have real authentic images, including video, showcasing your online reviews, making it easy for them to take action, getting those basics in order, updating calls to actions, mobile optimization, live chat, multi-step forms. Now, what do you do? Let's increase those conversion rates. I think got a little blurry on me, but let's increase the conversion rates beyond that. And so like what we talked about was getting sometime there, like what we were looking at in the very beginning of this presentation is we're talking about getting a 5%, increase your conversion rate on your website from 5% to 15%, right? 90% of people that come to your website, it's not that they all convert, right? That's an outlandish number in website conversion. So it's usually down in that 5-10%, 15% kind of range. But what can you do to increase those conversion rates after they leave? And what that involves is retargeting and remarketing. So Google and Facebook allow you to retarget and remarket to the visitors on your website through Google Ads and through the Meta Ads platform. And so every one of us has had this happen to us, right? And it gets a little creepy sometimes, where you're talking to your wife or husband, and all of a sudden there's an ad on your phone for something, right? And you're like, what the heck just happened? That's called retargeting and remarketing. So now anytime that someone visits your website, they go check the weather, there's an ad for your company. They go watch a video on YouTube, there's an ad for your company. They go to their Facebook feed, there's an ad for your company. They go to their Instagram, there's an ad for your company. They go to, like, everywhere they go and play solitaire on their phone or Jules or something like that. There's an ad for your company. So making sure, adding on your Google retargeting, it's very inexpensive. A lot of our clients, even in that have tons of traffic to their website, they have a less than $500 a month budget just for their retargeting ads. It's a very low, it's a very low cost, but man, it makes a difference. There's an old advertising rule of 7. That people need to see your brand 7 times before they even recognize it, right? So now they saw a sign in their neighbor's yard. They drove by it and they're like, oh, let me call them. They call that company, or they go and research you online. Now they go to your website and they're like, oh, this might be the right company to call. Oh, but I'm too busy for that now. And then now they're getting ads served to them over and over and over and over again. So that retargeting and remarketing is how you amplify the conversion rates of your current visitors. So any questions? Feel free to unmute, drop it in the chat. be able to answer any questions. We're about at the hour mark now. So if anyone needs to pop off, go ahead and do so. If you want to speak to us about how we can help you with your digital marketing efforts, go to roofermarketers.com or give us a call. And if you don't, please listen to the Roofing Success Podcast. It's where I interview successful roofing contractors on the lessons they've learned, things they've done well, things that they haven't done well, all all to help you, eliminate the mistakes that you make along the way. So let's see here. Any other questions? Angela said if anyone wants to brainstorm or anything, must not be in the Minneapolis market. You don't want any competition, Angela? Abundance mentality.
I think that Shane would not be happy if I was brainstorming with the competition, but I think it's good sometimes out of the state to brainstorm and share ideas. So I'm all game for that.
Right. That's right. But awesome. Follow us on social media, do all of that. Give us a call if you need anything. We do these webinars once a month on different topics around digital marketing. And we'll see you next month if nobody has any questions. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.